Hey y'all, it's Taylor and we're back in the kitchen for another video. It's not a recipe video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the juicer I use and why. It'll be kind of like a review of the Omega VSJ Vert juicer. Now before we jump into the video, I just want to encourage you to go into the description. I have a free mini ebook there. It's my Raw Food Ayurveda Volume 1 mini ebook. It has 10 low-fat raw vegan recipes and lots of tips for your dosha so that you can succeed on a raw vegan diet if you are Vata, Pitta, or Kapha dominant. If you've ever purchased a juicer, then you know this is a very expensive piece of equipment. There are pros and cons, benefits and drawbacks to every single juicer. It can be pretty overwhelming to decide which kind of juicer is going to be right for you and meet your needs. But that's really the important thing to determine. What are your needs? What do you plan to be juicing? How often do you plan to juice? For how many people? For how many days are you going to juice at a time? In today's video, I'm going to share with you why exactly I bought this juicer, as well as how it is actually performing for me since I bought it about 6 months ago. Reason number one that I chose this particular juicer is because I've had an Omega juicer in the past. It was a horizontal masticating Omega juicer and it performed really well. It performed so well and I used it so much that I actually ended up starting my own small juice business. And the juicer held up. It produced high quality juices that were delicious and they stayed fresh for about 3 days in the refrigerator. So I already trusted this brand and knew that it was a brand that I wanted to go ahead and purchase another juicer with. The second reason I chose this particular juicer is because I knew I wanted a vertical juicer this time. Like I said, my previous juicer was a horizontal, and while it performed really well, I wanted something vertical this time for ease, for cleanup, for its enhanced power as well, for the aesthetic, and also just like the flow of how you juice and the position needed and how it works. I wanted vertical. That's what my gut said. That's what I did. Number three is I really considered and reflected on what it is I actually want to juice. And for me, that is predominantly celery. I make green juices and celery-based juices every single time with this juicer. I don't juice a lot of fruit. In fact, I don't think I've juiced any fruit with this juicer except for lemons. I have a small citrus juicer that I use for oranges and other citrus. So this is my green juice juicer and it does very well with that. Now I'd like to share some information with you about what you need to know about this particular juicer. So this juicer comes with a little brush. My horizontal one did too. And you can see it's actually orange because I juice turmeric, and turmeric stains everything. So I have a fun colored brush now. And this is really useful for cleaning the insides of the machine, obviously, as well as sometimes when I'm juicing, this will get backed up. This part normally is rotating and clearing and the juice is coming out this way and the pulp is coming out this way. Whenever that gets backed up, I use the back end of this brush and just clear the pulp area out, and usually this part will start rotating again. So the little brush is very handy. Mine actually broke, the end of it broke off. I'm sure I could probably get a new one, but it still works for what I need it for. The next thing you need to know about this juicer is that you do need to chop your produce into smaller pieces. I will chop my celery into pieces about 1 inch long. Something like this. And it really doesn't take that long. I don't find it very annoying. I don't find that it interrupts the flow. It just becomes part of the flow. I wash, I chop, I juice, I pause, and I continue. Also, when I juice the turmeric and ginger, I cut that up into about 1 inch or less chunks, and the lemons as well. Usually I will peel them and then break them in half and put them through here. I will show you exactly what I do in my next video with my favorite juice recipe. So be sure to check that out. Another thing you need to consider is that your order of ingredients is important when you're making a juice. When I make a particular juice, my favorite one, which I'll show you in my next video, I make sure I alternate between usually lemon, which is really, really high water content, or the celery, which is higher water content, though very fibrous, with the extremely fibrous, dense ginger root and turmeric root. Now, if I have in the past just I juice all my celery and then I wait until the end to juice my lemon and turmeric. The first time I did this, I juiced all of my turmeric at once and it backed up the machine. So I really recommend alternating between your higher water content ingredients with less fiber and extremely fibrous lower water content ingredients. Now this machine does really, really great if you're just gonna make a small batch of juice at once, maybe just 16 ounces or 32 ounces of your favorite juice for a day, no problem whatsoever. When I make much larger volumes of juice, say enough for 5 or 6 days, sometimes the machine will back up. These parts in particular will get backed up and the machine will just turn off and no longer work. If you're strategic enough with your ingredients, usually I can get away with making 5 or 6 pints at a time of this particular juice that I drink every day. Other times you might need to stop and clean, which isn't a big deal, but it can take some extra time. Another thing to keep in mind if you plan to be making large batches of juice is that you might need to strain. There is a mesh screen inside here, which if you're making a smaller batch of juice, usually does a really good job of straining the juice. But if I'm making 5 or 6 days at a time, which is what I normally do, I use a very simple straining system. I have a nice large pitcher here and a wire strainer, and I just strain my juice through that and then I pour it off into my pint containers and it's wonderful. I will also mention that this piece on the front is really, really nice. You can stop the flow of juice. So if the machine is still going, you can close this. No more juice will come out. You can remove this and pour it off into your containers or into your straining pitcher. Unfortunately, this piece broke. So this actually happened when I was cleaning it. I dropped it, it broke. See this side here? It's supposed to look like that. And now it's like that. And it will still clamp on the front. I just have to be extra careful when I close this piece now that it is fully closed so that juice doesn't continue to come out. This is a wonderful juicer. I highly recommend it if your needs are similar to mine and you plan to be making a lot of green juices, you plan to be making larger batches at a time. It can certainly meet your needs. It meets all of mine. I highly recommend it. I'm very, very happy with it. The juice is wonderful. Usually I can make 5 or 6 days worth at a time, especially now I'm using citrus in my juices, so that helps to preserve and lengthen shelf life as well. But it's really nice. I recommend making a larger batch if time is an issue for you. I know it is for me. I want it to be convenient and easy and quick, and I don't want to be spending all my time juicing. I have other things to do, and I'm sure you do too. So this is a really great product, a really good solution. This is not an affiliate. I'm not being paid by this company. I just get a lot of questions on Instagram in particular whenever I'm sharing my juices and my posts and in my stories. People ask me what kind of juicer I use, so I wanted to make a special video to answer that question for you and share with you my reasoning as to why I chose this juicer and how it performs and meets my needs. So I hope you found this video helpful. Please check out the link in the description and you can get my free Raw Food Ayurveda mini ebook. It has 10 raw food Ayurveda recipes. These are raw vegan recipes with tips for your dosha. Lots of information about how to customize a raw vegan diet to meet your dosha. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it if you like it. Subscribe for more videos. Leave a comment. What kind of juicer do you have? What is your favorite juice? And like I said, stay tuned and you can check out my favorite juice. We will make that together very soon. Much love to you. Namaste.